Congratulations! You are now a member of the OTAGO exercise program. The OTAGO exercise program is an evidence-based fall prevention program that was developed and tested at the University of Otago in New Zealand. That's where it gets its name from. Researchers found that when adults over the age of 65 did this prescribed set of exercises 3 times a week, that they fell 35% less than others that were receiving a placebo treatment. These exercises, when you do them, can really protect you against a fall by improving your leg strength and improving your balance. The exercise program that we put together for you today comes directly from the OTAGO exercises. It is approximately a 20-minute workout that you will do being led by me. My name is Tiffany Schubert, and I'm a physical therapist with a lot of experience implementing the OTAGO exercise program. Before you start this program today, you should know that your participation is purely voluntary, and you need to monitor yourself. If an exercise doesn't feel good or is painful, you really shouldn't do it, and you should check with your healthcare provider before starting. The way we've set up our program is that you will do a progression. You will do 1 session of the program for approximately 2 weeks or until you feel that the exercises have become easy. Once the exercises are easy, we'll make it more challenging by adding in more repetitions of the exercise or by making it more challenging for your balance by asking you to either not hold on, not use your hands at all, or other types of challenges. This really should be a fun program for you to do, and you will see that as you do the program that your legs get stronger and your balance improves. Ideally, you want to do the program 3 times a week for about 30 minutes. On days when you're not doing the exercise program, you should strongly consider incorporating a walking program in, also 3 times a week, working up to about 30 minutes. If you do this, strength training 3 times a week, walking 3 times a week, you will actually achieve the optimal dose of exercise to protect yourself against a fall, and you'll also be achieving the recommended dose of exercise by the American College of Sports Medicine for older adults. To do this exercise, it doesn't really require very many props. The 2 things that you need, for sure, are a chair like this chair with a high back and a flat seat. This you will use to help you balance during the different exercises and also will help support you in the best posture while you're doing the exercises. The other thing that we strongly recommend is a set of ankle weights. So these are for 3 of the exercises. These are really, really important. If you feel that you're not quite strong enough yet to put on ankle weights and use them, I would challenge you to try ankle weights no matter what, even if it's just 1 pound or a half a pound. This extra weight, this extra resistance will really give you the greatest benefit when you're working on improving your strength and improving your balance. So, congratulations on starting this journey. We're excited that you're here, and we're looking forward to hearing how you do with your OTAGO exercise program. Okay, let's start with our warm-up. We will be doing the same 4 exercises for each warm-up that we do with the OTAGO exercise program. You will first start in sitting, and you want to be in your chair that has a firm seat and a firm back. The very first exercise will be neck rotation. And first, you'll want to scoot forward in your chair so that your feet are flat on the floor. This will be different for everyone. Those with longer legs can actually have their feet flat on the floor when they're sitting in the chair without scooting forward. Those with shorter legs, like myself, you need to scoot. For the neck rotation exercise, put your hands on your knees, and we're going to do this a little differently. Instead of starting by turning your head, I actually want you to start by sliding your hand down your knee, and then sliding the opposite hand down your knee. And what you can see is that by sliding my hand down my knee, I'm getting a gentle twist in my spine, and my head is naturally following my shoulders. While doing this exercise, you want to be very respectful of any pain or any stiffness. Do not push in to pain or stiffness. The other thing you want to make sure is that you do not get dizzy. If you get dizzy while doing this exercise, you need to speak to your doctor. The goal is to do 10 rotations. We're at about 9 right now, so we will do one more and one more. And then you'll end by facing forward. The next exercise that we're going to do is a posture exercise called the chin tuck. So in our society, we tend to get very rounded and we tend to have forward heads. This makes the muscles in the back of our neck very, very tight. So for this exercise, what we're going to be focusing on is having very good posture and stretching these muscles here in the very back. Again, you're going to be sitting straight with your feet planted on the floor, and you're very gently just going to glide your head back on your neck. It's sort of a strange feeling, and you will make this lovely double chin while you're doing it. But what you should be doing is feeling your head gliding back on your neck and a very gentle stretch in the back of your head, these little muscles back here, and then relaxing. Here's 4, and relax. When people do this exercise, it's a very small motion, and be very careful that you're not looking up or looking way down. You should just be looking straight ahead. That's 6 and 7. And again, gentle, gentle movements. And here's 9 and 10. Good job. So our next warm-up exercise is done in standing. So you want to start with your feet around hip-width apart. And first thing you want to do is a posture check. Again, you want to stand with your hips over your feet, your shoulders over your hips, nice and tall. And you really want to ground your feet into the floor. And you're going to gently do what's called the trunk rotation exercise. I, again, start this exercise from my hips. I'm just going to twist my hips to the right and then to the left. And my spine is going to follow. It's a very gentle exercise. Should be very comfortable to do. Be very, very aware of any stiffness or pain. Don't push into it. And we're going to go for 10 or so rotations. When you're doing this, you'll actually should feel your feet shifting left and right just a little bit as well. Nice and gentle. You may find you can actually twist a little further each time. Just go with it. And everything nice and loose and ready. And then pause. Posture. Our last warm-up is an exercise that just focuses on our posture. So you're going to stand, do a quick little march in place, get your feet under you, and I want you to stand nice and tall. Don't lock your knees out. Have a soft bend in your knees, shoulders back, and you really should feel like someone has a string and they're pulling you straight up to the ceiling. You're going to hold this position and you're going to take 3 deep breaths. When you're breathing, you can think about filling your belly up with air and blowing it out. Getting some good oxygen into our body. And then just take a little break and relax. And you should feel like you're a little straighter and a little more oxygenated. And we're going to do that one more time as our final warm-up exercise. So again, just get your feet under you, take a couple steps, and then stop. Stand up nice and tall, root deep into the ground. Feel like somebody's pulling you up and you're making space in your spine. And you're going to take those 3 deep breaths while keeping your shoulders relaxed. And now we're ready to start the exercise program. So now let's start with our leg strengthening exercises. The first exercise we're going to do is the only exercise that's done in a chair for the OTAGO exercise program. This exercise is called terminal knee extension. Sort of a fancy word. We're bending and straightening our leg, and our goal is to strengthen our quadricep or thigh muscles. Before we start the exercise, you need to put your ankle weights on. I like putting them on both feet to start. And I find it's easiest to put the weights on when I'm sitting in a chair. So you're just going to strap these around each leg, like so. And remember, like I said, you want to use ankle weights regardless if you put actual weights in them. So if you're just getting started, you can just use an empty sock or an empty ankle weight around your ankle. For this exercise, again, you want to start with your feet flat on the floor. You want to have very good posture, and you want to engage your belly muscles, engage your core muscles. And what you're going to do is lift your right foot off of the floor and straighten your leg. So you'll feel your muscle right here working, and slowly lower it back down. Now, there's some ways to cheat on this exercise, and I'm going to show you those ways first, and then we'll get going. The first way people cheat is they lean forward and back while they're doing this. Not only is this really bad for your back, it really isn't helping you get these muscles strong. The other way that people cheat is they go really fast. So they throw their leg forward and back, and they're using momentum. Again, you won't get the full benefit of the exercise. Sitting up very tall, belly in, moving slow. We'll do 1 set of 10 on the right, and then 1 set of 10 on the left, and we'll repeat. Let's go. When you're doing the exercise, make sure you straighten your leg as much as you can. And again, you're working on slow and controlled movement. So 7, 8. You want to stay nice and tall here. And 10. Good. And then you're going to switch to the other side. You may find it's actually really hard to keep control of your leg while you're lowering down. So you want to go nice and slow, and you're getting the full benefit of that exercise. And that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We'll do 1 more set of 10 on each, starting on the right. If you have any pain with this exercise, or if you can't get your full range of motion, meaning you can't straighten your leg all the way or bend it, you can find your pain-free range and still get a really great benefit from this exercise. I have a really good friend who always says that motion is the lotion. And so any kind of movement to keep your joints healthy will make a big difference. Got a couple more on this right leg and then it'll be done. And 10. And again, you should be feeling the muscles in your legs working hard here. Last time on the left. You can feel those muscles working. And remember to keep your belly tight and sitting up nice and tall. You get a full body workout with this one exercise. And 10. Our next exercise is done in standing with the ankle weights. This is one of my favorite exercises. It's called standing hip abduction. What you're going to do is you're going to stand next to a chair, and you can use this chair for support at any point in time. I want you to start focusing on your posture, standing up nice and tall. And there's a trick to this exercise. The trick is you're going to bring your foot out slightly, and then you're just going to lift and lower from this position, just like this. 3, 4. And you'll see as I'm doing this, I'm not shifting my shoulders. I'm standing nice and tall. And I'm using this for just a little bit of support. Good. Now we'll go ahead and do the other side. Again, you want to use the chair, or for more of a balance challenge, you can actually do it without the chair for support. You're going to bring your legs slightly out to the side and lift and lower, just like this. As you do the exercise, again, nice and tall, your toes are staying forward, you're not turning them out, your hips are staying forward, you're not rotating, and your shoulders are staying over your hips. Using your belly muscles and your breathing. And trying to stay in control of the exercise. Good job. We're going to move to the other side. We're going to do another set of 10. One thing that I want you to pay attention to as you're doing the exercise is that you're not bobbing. This is not the exercise. Again, you're nice and tall. So you're going to lift and lower. It's a great exercise to help you strengthen your hips. And I actually feel this exercise a lot more in my standing hip when I'm doing it, because this hip is working really hard to stabilize my body as I'm lifting the other side. Great. And then we'll shift to the other side for that last set of 10. Again, bringing that foot out, making sure the toe is pointed forward, and you're going to lift and lower. Our hips are really important to help stabilize us as we walk and help us maintain our balance. We don't do a lot of activity from side to side in our daily movements, but those side to side muscles are really critical for keeping us nice and strong and balanced. I think we got one more. Good. So our next and last exercise with the ankle weights is standing knee flexion. So we will start out with doing one set of 10 of this particular exercise. And what you're going to do, again, you want to be by the chair. You're going to hold on to the back of the chair or the side of the chair. standing up nice and tall, belly in, and you're going to lift your heel up behind you and lower it down, just like this. Again, it's not a big movement. You're not lifting this way, you're lifting behind you. The stork stance. You want to make sure that the range of motion is comfortable. If you have any knee problems and this is irritating it, you can do a smaller range of motion. You want to have good posture. Don't let your body go forward when you're doing this exercise. Very good. You want to use the weights for it too. You're working the muscles in the back of the leg and in your bottom. Then we're going to switch legs. We're going to do the left leg. Same thing. You're just lifting that heel behind you, bending the knee, getting those muscles nice and strong. This can be a challenging exercise at first. So if you want to take the weights off and just use the empty cuff for this exercise, that's a good idea. And we'll do one more set, or one more rep. There you go. Good. And at this point, you're going to want to sit down and take off your ankle weights for the rest of the exercises. So our next exercise we're going to do is both a strength and a balance exercise. And what I'm going to have you do is you absolutely need a chair with a high back. You're going to turn and face the back of the chair. And I want you to start the exercise with both hands on the chair. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to raise up our heels just like this. So we're lifting straight up, holding, and lowering down. This is an amazing exercise to strengthen your calf muscles and your ankle muscles. All the muscles around your ankle. It's a great balance exercise. Now the trick is to not be forward or not be back. You're literally pulling your belly in, good posture, and coming straight up. So we're going to do one set of 10, take a break, and then do a second set of 10. So we're going up 1 and 2. And to make this a little bit more of a challenge for your balance, you can let go with one hand and only do this when you're feeling good and strong. It's 5 and 6 and 7. You can also challenge yourself, 8, by just holding on with a finger, 9 and 10. We'll take a little break. You're probably feeling a little bit of muscle burn in the back of your calves. That's good. You want to feel that. We're going to do a second set of 10. And when you're doing this, I want you to think about keeping the weight over the balls of your toes. So you're really feeling the weight in that big fleshy part of your, right by your big toe of your foot. So we're going to start 1 and 2. And again, you can do that balance, challenge your balance when you're ready. When you're really ready, you can do no hands. You'll see a big difference. So this is the most advanced version of this exercise. And 5 and 6. You're getting that double whammy. 7 and 8. And I'm starting to lose it a little, so I'm going to hang on again. 9 and 10. Good. So the next exercise is the squat. And when people hear squat, they get a little nervous. So I'm going to introduce what's called the shallow squat. And what that's going to be is just bending your knees throughout the range of motion that is comfortable for you. So the way we're going to do this exercise is I want you by the chair. And you may want to start the exercise with your hand on the chair. You're going to make sure your feet are about hip width apart. So when you look down, here's your hips. They should be slightly wider or at your hips. You're going to look up, and you're actually going to start the exercise by pushing your bottom back. I'm exaggerating a little here, but you're going to push your bottom back and bend your knees slightly, and then you're going to come up. Just like that. You want to imagine that there's a straight pole from your head to your tailbone, and you're keeping that alignment perfectly straight when you do this squat. Okay? So you're not rounding, you're not bending your knees way forward like this. You're just keeping your back really straight, you're pushing your bottom back, and you're bending down, and you're coming up. So let's begin. We're going to start with 10. You can hang on to the chair for balance. And just like that. And you really should feel that the movement is coming from your hips. And you should feel that your backside, your gluteus maximus muscles, they're doing all the work here. They're leading you down. They're pushing you up. When I do this exercise, I think about the majority of the weight being in my heels and the muscles along the back of my leg and in my bottom doing all the work. Good. You want to keep your chest nice and open, your shoulders relaxed. And if you've got cranky knees, you just find that range of motion that's comfortable. Just even if it's just a little baby one, you're going to get good benefit. Here's 9 and 10. Good job. Our next exercise is called sit to stand from a chair, and that's exactly what it is. So what you're going to want to have is a nice chair with a back, and preferably put it against the wall for safety. And you're going to start in sitting. And again, you want to scoot forward so your feet are flat on the floor, and you're simply going to stand up from the chair. It's okay to use your hands if you need to. So we're just going to stand up. You want to go all the way up, and then you want to sit down, and you want to control the standing up and the sitting down. We're going to do this 10 times. Again, you want to watch that momentum doesn't take over, and you want to make sure you stand all the way up and sit all the way down. After 10, I'll show you some ways to cheat on this exercise. There you go. So we're at 7. And if you want to challenge yourself, don't use your hands at all. You can even cross your hands over your chest like this, which is a really good challenge. And here's 10. Good. You got to watch yourself, because sometimes people end up using what I call momentum, where they just rock forward and back. You do not want to be doing that with this exercise. It's all the way up. And all the way down. Good. And then that's it for today. Good job. Okay, our next exercise is what we call a static balance exercise, and what that means is we're putting ourselves in a really narrow base of support, and then we're going to hold that position. And ideally, we're going to hold it without using our arms for balance, but definitely use your arms for balance if you need it. The exercise is called the tandem stance exercise, and in this exercise, you're going to do a heel-toe position, or what I call a tightrope position, the kind of position you would hold as if you were standing on a tightrope. We're going to start this exercise with our left leg forward. Now, please note, if you recently have had hip surgery or a hip replacement surgery and you're not supposed to cross your legs, do not do this exercise. Or if you have any other reason why you can't put one foot in front of the other. The modification actually is even just standing in a little bit more of a narrow position, like with your feet close together. But for now, this is the exercise we're going to do. You're going to put your left foot in front of your right foot, and once you have your balance, you're going to hover your hand right above the back of the chair. And the reason why I say hover your hand is that the minute you feel like you're losing your balance, just put your hand down. And that immediately increases your base of support. All right? It's just very silly to overstress your balance abilities and lose your balance doing this exercise. Just put your hand down. All right, so start with standing in really good posture, and then you're going to move your left foot directly in front of your right foot in that tightrope position. And then when you're ready, you're going to let go, and we're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. And all you're doing is maintaining your balance. Like I said, if you feel like you're starting to lose it, you can put your hand down and then put your hand back up the minute you can. If you can hold this position for 30 seconds without any upper extremity support, you are doing incredibly well. And it's a really fun exercise because you can really see the progress. So keep holding it. Great. And put your hand down and step out of the position. Very good. Now we're going to do the exact same exercise on the opposite, or with the opposite leg in front. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put your right foot in front of your left foot, and just notice this may feel different to you. And again, you're going to, when you're ready, you're going to let go. And you can see for me, this is different. I have to work a little bit harder. And again, you're going to hover that hand. That really narrow base of support is challenging all the muscles in my ankles. They're sending all the information up to my brain as to how to correct so I can maintain this base of support. You want to keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your belly in, and hold it for just a few more seconds. And hand down and step out and relax. Excellent job. So as you continue to do that exercise, just keep continuing to challenge your balance and really focus on not using your hand to support yourself. Very good. This next exercise is our last static balance exercise. And like the tandem stance, we're going to be in a very narrow base of support, but this time we're just going to be standing on one leg instead of two. Very similar. You're going to put your hand on the back of the chair, standing up nice and straight. You're going to lift your heel up of your left foot so you're standing on your right. And the trick to this exercise is not letting your hips shift out. You've got to stand nice and tall. And the other trick to this exercise is keeping a little bit of space in between your legs. So if you're squeezing your legs together or if you're hooking the foot behind, this is cheating. You're not going to get the benefit of the exercise. All right, so start with your feet right underneath you. You're going to go ahead, shift your weight over to the right, pick your left foot up, and then you're going to hover that hand and hold this position for 30 seconds. And you will really start to feel it in your right hip muscle, that hip abductor muscle. That muscle is so important to help us keep our pelvis aligned and straight and supported while we're walking. And you'll soon find out that 30 seconds is a long time. If you need to, put your hand down. If you need to, put your toes down. And then pick back up when you're balanced again and go for it. And we're almost at the end. And hand down, foot down. Excellent job. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And again, you may find there's a difference in your ability to balance on your left foot versus your right. So we're going to shift over, pick your right foot up, and then we're going to go ahead and let go and hold this position for 30 seconds. Really great exercise. You can do this throughout your day whenever you want. You can do this while you're brushing your teeth. You can do this anytime you're standing at your kitchen counter. It's just a fantastic, fantastic balance exercise. You don't just have to do it when you're doing this particular exercise program. And the more you practice, the better you'll get. Excellent job. Hand down, foot down, relax. This is the first exercise in the dynamic walking exercise series for the OTAGO exercise program. This is called lateral stepping, and we are literally just going to start. Again, good posture, feet right under our hips, and we are going to step sideways. And we're going to do this 10 times. We're keeping our hips forward. We're not taking huge steps. We're going to do 10 steps one direction, and then we're going to do 10 steps the other direction. You can tell I'm not speeding across. Keeping my hips facing forward, my toes facing forward. And what this is doing is it's just giving me a nice challenge, practicing moving my body in a different direction, and it's challenging my balance. And then last time, we're going to go the opposite direction. We move in 3 dimensions in space when we're walking, and we're always challenging ourselves from a lot of different directions. It's just another way to practice. Excellent job.